Well, you know how like the archaeologists find like these. Should I go back then? Or should I follow that guy? Okay, now I understand why you need to bring this many. Oh my, this game is crazy, bro. Oh my god. Yo, where's the drums? Yo! Wait, guys, I don't see drums. Okay, I see one right there. Bro, what are these guys? These guys are the guy. Oh my god, they're actually RuneScape players. Guys, these are all the RuneScape players that didn't make it. Now they follow you in like they brothers and sisters. Are you serious? Take notes, guys. Take notes.
So I'd barrage him this time.
Okay.
Good start. Good start. I would keep barraging him if he's gonna play range.
I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented you are.
Hold up. This guy was talking about you. What is this?
No, let's be real. They're all cheaters, man.
Like, this dude right now has 7,000 live viewers.
Oda was rocking on Twitch with like 5K, wasn't he?
Yeah, so, but he has 7K just gambling. Gambling content is genuinely the worst content on the internet. I'm so ready for that to be over with. Like, everyone here, they just spam their thing. They're waiting to get a tip. They have fake love, like, hoping that they get noticed in the chat, and then they send them 5.
Is this guy retarded? I don't even gamble! You retard! It's RuneScape. These guys are fucking retarded. Wallah, they're retarded. I said Wallah, they are. Wallah, he's a retard.
$5,000 ETH. There's nothing good about it. I think it's ruined a lot of streamers. It's just, and I want to see better. Like, there's a lot of funny guys like Cuff'em Cheeser, these people.
Cuff'em Cheeser? What? Bro, those are the guys that do the gambling streams. This guy's retarded. This guy, what was his name? Snecko? Snickers bar? This guy's fucking retarded, bro. Wallah, he's retarded. I said Wallah, he is. Bro, Wallah, he's retarded. I said Wallah. No way he thinks the fucking bank is a slot machine. Motherfucker, there's a bronze sword in there. There's a power Emmy. Wallah, I see the power Emmy. Who sees it? Tell me you guys see the power Emmy in the bank. Wallah, I see it right there. Oh my God, one of you guys, well, I don't know if it was one of you guys in the chat, but somebody said, Oda's legit and he's funny as fuck and his name is Thick Daddy. You know what? Shout out to Thick Daddy. I know the name's kind of weird, but we'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for defending me, bro. This guy's retarded. You know what, Sneeko? Here. You have earned the amulet of retard eye. I barely give the imbue ones out, but you definitely deserve it. You definitely deserve it. Zerker's a retard too, by the way. I don't know if you guys know the guy next to him. That guy's retarded as well. Or the low-key, he was complimenting you because he thought you were gambling because of your view count. I'm pretty sure that the reason why my view count was so high at that moment was because me and Skill Specs were doing the fucking finale fight, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I got it clipped. What is this? I can't believe he thinks RuneScape is gambling. Like, it literally says old school RuneScape. I've turned down every single gambling contract known to man. You know, Chad, I actually got offered so much money to do a gambling contract that I would make more money than I made in my whole life in under 2 months.
I'm flashing.
Isn't that crazy? And I turned every single one of them down. Because I don't do the haram money.
Genuinely the worst content on the internet. I'm so ready for that to be over with. Like,
What a block laughs at Sneeko for confusing RuneScape with gambling. Mashallah, give him my salam. At least now he knows, bro. At least now he knows I don't partake in the haram. But still, fuck that man Sneeko for even saying that. Or the Sneeko responded to you. I don't give a fuck about that shit. What is this?
this nigga said, Wallah, I'm retarded.
I did say that. That's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I probably shouldn't say Wallah to somebody that's retarded, right? Like, I just said, Wallah, you're retarded. But, like, I just use Wallah so much, like, I feel like it's kind of normalized. May God forgive me. I'm not gonna lie, like, me saying Wallah, he's retarded is kind of crazy. But, like, who cares, bro? Like, may Allah forgive me, right?
You know what that means, right, buddy? Bro, Wallah is retarded. This looks exactly like gambling content.
Wait, what?
But he might have to say, astaghfirullah. Alright, dude. There's no way that he doesn't even know what's going on, and I'm playing RuneScape. Type of one right now if this looks exactly like gambling content.
No, it doesn't. It's literally, it says old school RuneScape. No, bro, no. Let me tell you what it is. Just cat. Some yap. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm not mad at him, right? It is a little bit weird, I would say, that he followed me, though, right after this altercation, and then he unfollowed me right after. Which means that I believe that maybe I heard his pussy flaps or something. Maybe it's leaking. Like, forgive me. You know? I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings, bro. But, let me see.
No context. Are you thinking this is fucking RuneScape?
I mean, it says it right there.
Or are you thinking immediately this is gambling? Kick stream. And he claims that you guys are here for you, not singling you out. The fucking bank is a slot machine. Look at that. Everybody in the chat is agreeing. It looks exactly like gambling. Everybody said one.
What do you mean? There's a bunch of twos as well, bro. It's capping. He's just everybody's saying one right now. Everybody, it's all good, bro. I'm not mad at him. You know, it's all good. We cool, bro. We cool. It is what it is. He seems salty though. I'm not gonna lie. He's mad. Oh yeah, he's mad. Let me tell you why. Well, let me tell you why I think he's mad. After he called me out for saying that like I do gambling streams or whatever, and I denied it and I said I never do that. I'm playing RuneScape. It's okay. He made a mistake. Blah blah blah. I called him a retard, right? And I guess I hurt his feelings because right after he followed me, and then when he heard me call him a retard on the second clip, he unfollowed me. Which I don't care, honestly. It's just like he's kind of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's kind of soft, if that makes sense.
Today, Old School RuneScape released the biggest update of the year so far, Valamore The Final Dawn. This is the third and final part of the Valamore expansion and will fill in the last missing piece on the RuneScape map. We've got quests, bosses, skilling minigames, and a ton of new items coming into the game today, so 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Here we go! The Final Dawn is upon us. Valamore Part 3 in the flesh for the first time. I am excited today to see what's happened to this continent. Oh, it looks beautiful. The map has been filled in. Wow, there is so much stuff going on here. Okay, time to check it out. Here we go. A new area for me to cancel into, and this is in the middle of the rainforest. A brand new city. So many new things to do. Even just looking at the new shops, there's cosmic runes in here. That's an Ironman special and nature runes. No more mage bank for the early game. A flying squirrel. Go on, beast. What is this? The gemstone crab. It's one of the brand new bosses that comes out with this update. This is kind of like a brand new boss, but not really. It's more of a sand crab, an ammonite crab, a rock crab. You click and you can just AFK, and it has a ton of health for you to work through. Not entirely sure this is the intended audience for the gemstone crab. Okay, what happens when he dies? Mine gemstone crab shell. Again, opal, an opal, and an opal. So you can actually get some weird gems from here. And then I'll just crawl through this cave here to the next location. Yes, it respawned and we're back to crabbing. Something about the crab, it's actually less XP per hit. If you see I hit a 32, that's 112 XP. That should have been 128 if it was 4 times, but it's 3.5 times XP. But there's a reason for that. It's not actually nerfed. When you do something like ammonites, you inevitably have to finish crabs when they're on the low hit points. You can't ever hit high number there, so that really does impact your XP an hour. And that's why you get reduced XP at the gemstone crab, although it's about the same XP per hour overall. As for how AFK the gemstone crab is, well, it's very AFK. It's 9 minutes in total from start to finish, and I'm pretty sure it scales based on how many players. It was always going to be around that time. One downside of the crab, if you are too AFK, you come back to computer a few minutes late, then you won't get that full 9-10 minutes on the crab. You'll come back and it'll be lower hit points. You do get the group social experience of something like Wintertod though, if you're that kind of player. Honestly, I'm super impressed. This rainforest is just teeming with life. We've got tapirs, all sorts of new animals. RuneScape just feels alive. The art team have done a fantastic job on this. This is the new village of Kastori, which is a bit of a farming town. It's got a calquat patch and a fruit tree patch. Wait, no way! This is a new chin spot, red chins. Wait, it actually looks like a lot of red chins around here. Maybe this is better than the Feldip Hills. And then there's this rather ominous deep dark hole, which I think is for the new boss, but we'll come back to that later. So much new content today in RuneScape. I love learning about new things and exploring, which is why today's partner is perfect. Boot.dev. Boot.dev teaches you to code in a variety of different programming languages, and it does this by keeping coding fun and gamifying the process. In Boot.dev, it's very easy to understand. You have the lesson here on the left, and on the right, you have the console where you can type whatever code you want, but you're obviously going to have to try and get the right answer. Boots the Bear Wizard is here to help you if you get stuck, so let's pretend I'm stuck and I don't know what a function is, and he can help me out with that. Okay, I think I fixed this code. Submit. And it is all good. I gain XP for that lesson. The best way to learn to code is to write a ton of code, which is what Boot.dev's all about. And Boot.dev's just done a great job of making that engaging. Everything that you're doing has a purpose and you're making progress. Its number go up. It is like RuneScape. So go to Boot.dev and try out their courses for free. Use my code SOLOMISSION to get 25% off your first year if you choose the annual plan. The Final Dawn quest completed. A ton of XP there. This is needed to fight the Delve boss. Wait, hold on. What is this? The Arcane Blade. That actually looks really cool, and it's got a special attack as well. The special's 50% more accuracy and damage, and it applies burn, and it only uses 30%. All right, let me have a look at this thing. Ooh, swishing a 72. That's really cool. And 10 burn damage per time as well, so it's like an 82. As for the base stats, the Arcane Blade is basically a dragon sim, which also has a stab option. It's slightly better slash and slightly worse in melee strength. Bear in mind, you do get this thing for free, and it's a pretty decent spec weapon, so actually a really cool addition to the game. Not going to shake up too many metas, but it's nice to see. Also, this quest predictably brought new Naguas, the Earthen Naguas, and new weapons to kill the Naguas, the Earthbound Tech Paddle. These things are essentially the the stab version of the sulfur blades. Now here we go, underneath the Talati rainforest. This hole's been filled in, and behind these doors, the Delve boss resides. Here he is, the Doom of Mukwitol. It's kind of like Fortis Colosseum. After every time you defeat the Delve boss, he delves deeper into this hole.
più scopi e più ha questa bella piccolo magnificamente.
Stimmt, da muss entschuldigen, wir ein bisschen durcheinander. Also, Du würdest gerne Model stehen. Ja. Natürlich wird sich ausziehen. Sich vertiefen.
I must have been crazy at the time.
Help me. Look, you gotta help.
This is been our home. Your
wife. Diet.
I was
Meet you, brother.
here.
Boyfriend.
It's like a lot.
Day. It's Emma.
Emma,
My.
is there a bathroom around here somewhere?
Oh, you see, we don't know it's in running water, but I'll see you later.
Thank you for the lemonade.
Live off the well.
Okay.
You look really tired. Are you tired?
No, not at all. I'm used to working from 4 in the morning to dark every day.
Well, I wasn't planning on bothering you, but
Oh, no
I
bother.
I just had a question for you.
Well, go ahead, ask away.
Well, the other day ago, yesterday in fact, you were relieving yourself in the field. And I was just wondering what exactly the size of your wiener is. When I saw it, it was literally the size of a horse, and I just thought that maybe I could possibly ask if I could see it. I was just so amazed. I'd never seen such a thing. It was really big.
What
Could I
about
have-
your father, Brother Samuel?
Well, Brother Samuel, my father, usually goes in and doesn't come back out. See, he works all day long, and when he goes in to eat dinner, he stays in, and he goes to bed early and wakes up again in the morning. So I know for sure he won't be out again, and I just need to see what it looks like. I'll tell you one thing. Last night, when we were eating dinner, remember the size of Mother's wieners that when I saw it, it was literally the size of a horse, and I just thought that maybe I could...
What about your father?
He goes in to eat dinner, he stays... Wieners that we ate horse's penis every single day. Let me have a look here.
Okay.
Please, Father won't be back until... Have a peek at it. That tastes. Cleaning, no satisfaction. My mouth?
You have to take off that dress.
Okay.
That's one spot.
Besides my mouth?
You have to take off that dress.
Okay. Oh. Oh, for me.
What do you need?
No. I was wondering if I could talk to you about something.
Fine, let worry about it. You should or you should sometimes don't to all her glory. Oh, you shouldn't be frightened.
Bareback.
Exactly. Right. Stand up.
Jedediah, I'm starting to feel like I do when I ride the horse bareback.
Exactly. Bareback riding. And I'm like,
Here's a quick guide for the new Varlamore fletching minigame. For requirements, all you'll need is 20 fletching and a knife. Recommendations are having full graceful, at least 45 agility, and for a little bit of extra XP and sweaty gameplay, a forestry kit with a log basket attachment. To get there, either use the Fairy DIS or use your Quetzal whistle and run west. Speak to Randolph and he'll walk you through building your first totem. Here's the route we'll be taking with all the totems and teleports labeled. After completing the short tutorial, you can run to the south or eastern bank to prepare for the minigame. I'm gonna keep making guides, so subscribe. I like to start at the southern bank, but it makes little to no difference. Grab some logs or a combo of logs and unstrung bows. For this route, we'll be going in a circle and hitting all 8 Veiled Totem sites before banking. If you don't have a log basket on your forestry kit, consider starting the route at Totem 8 and heading to the bank after Totem 3. To start, run east and start making your bows. I'm using redwood, so I'll be making hiking staves. Build your first totem and correctly identify the spirit animals, then simply decorate it with your 4 fletched items before running to the next totem. As you run around, take note of the flowers the Ents leave in their trail. Stepping on 2 consecutive flowers will give you a point bonus. If your run energy is depleting too fast, admire nearby plants and wait for an Ent to walk up to you and it'll restore your energy. Rinse and repeat this loop until you start losing your mind. To cash in your rewards, head back to Ranulph with your offerings. Each 100 offerings is equivalent to 1 point. Ent branches are used to make allotl ammo, bowstring spool stores bowstrings, and the fletching knife performs a fletching action 1 tick faster. That's all for the guide. Good luck on the fletching pet.
Collection log slot. With the introduction of Varlamore Part 3, we got access to Veiled Totems, a fletching activity in old school RuneScape that completely changes fletching forever. This is a pretty accessible activity for most accounts, so we're going to cover everything you need to know about this minigame, ranging from requirements to strategies and routes, as well as some fairly AFK technology that you can do alongside training, woodcutting, and forestry, and of course, cover some of the higher efficiency methods that can net you over 400k per hour fairly easily. In terms of requirements for this minigame, level-wise, there really isn't much. You need like level 20 fletching to craft the first totem, and you just need access to this area. In terms of items, I do recommend either having a log basket from forestry or the pendant of a Tez, which will allow you to teleport mid-run to get more logs. Either of these items are going to help you do a full cycle of the get more logs. I do recommend either having a log basket from forestry or the pendant of a Tez, which will allow you to teleport mid-run to get more logs. Either of these items are going to help you do a full cycle of the run without running out of logs. Now, if you're very, very low leveled, you might not have access to either of these right now, and I think that's fine because you're likely going to be doing the AFK version of this game you'll see later in the video until your levels get higher. To get here, you're going to use the fairy ring AIS. Then you're going to head northwest, and there's going to be the minigame tutor there. You're going to run through the basic loop there, and you're good to get started. This minigame has a fairly basic loop. All you need to do is use one log to build a totem, and then you're going to carve it into the 3 nearby animals. After that, you're going to decorate it with 4 fletched items. Once you've done that, you move on to the next totem, and you're going to go round in a circle. That's the basic loop of this minigame, but of course, we need to break down the details further, talk about some advanced information, and some tips and tricks as well. When you're crafting the totems and you're picking the animals, the easiest way I found to memorize what order the animals are in is simply by the size of the animal in real life. So number 1 is the buffalo, it's largest there. Number 5 is the scorpion, it's the smallest. And you can just learn the order very quickly that way until a plugin comes out that just tells you what buttons to click. There are a total of 8 totems in this area, and you're going to leverage all of them in the forest for the active version of this minigame. What you're going to do, I recommend starting out at the bank, filling up your inventory with a full set of logs as well as the log basket with the logs inside. If you don't have the log basket, use the pendant of a Tez. And you're going to head over the east with that and your knife, and you're going to craft that first totem. And then from here, all you're going to do is go clockwise through all 8 totems. It's mostly clockwise, but there are a couple of interesting parts in the route. When you get to this totem over here, you will run out of logs if you don't have a log basket. This is where you're going to use the pendant of a Tez because the statue is conveniently right beside you towards the next totem anyways. So get your quickest bank, fill up the inventory, and then head back. Just a reminder though, make sure you activate that statue because you won't be able to use it until you activate it by touching it. Then you're going to work your way back north, go to the tutor, and then this one is not quite as much a circle. You're going to go a little bit south to the one over here by the willows. That will complete your route. You're going to head back to the bank and restock. Each totem does need 4 fletched items, and I recommend that you're fletching in between running the totems. Now you're generally going to be able to fletch more than what you need, which is good. Just make sure you're keeping enough logs to actually build the totems as you're going, but you'll start to see the exact rhythm of how many you can fletch. I just recommend making the longbows for whatever log you're doing. That's typically going to be the best one. If you can't make it, obviously you're going to make the short bows. I just find that the shields, they don't really seem to be worth it because they require 2 logs instead of 1, and then when you use them as decorations, you're not getting any more XP. While you're running in between totems, there's a couple of things in between that you can engage with. The first thing is if an ent goes to an area with like a beautiful rock, beautiful log, and you look at the same thing, you're going to get a little bit of energy back. This is most relevant for people really low level. If you're higher level, something like Graceful is going to keep you topped off anyways. There is also these little end blossom flowers that they seem to leave behind. When you step over 2 of them directly, you get a little buff that states that you're going to get increased offerings for your next totem. Now, I haven't really seen the numbers on this since I seem to cap out on 15 offerings with redwoods regardless, but I tend to go for these if they're in my path. If they're a little bit out of the way, I generally see it's not super worth it. But for redwoods where there might be a little bit of downtime, you could probably go a little bit out of your way to grab them. Every time an ent goes past your totem, it's going to give you an offering, and it's actually going to reduce the totem's durability, which you can see by the leaves associated with the symbol here. Once it gets down to 0 leaves, the totem is destroyed. Depending on the log you're using, you're going to have more health on the totem, so redwood is maxed out, whereas like an oak log, for example, only has 2 leaves, which means 2 offerings happen before it collapses. Now, the offerings themselves, you can collect them right away, or you can opt to just let them stack up over time and collect them at the end. That will technically save you a few ticks per rotation if you want to do that. And as far as I can tell, I couldn't reach a limit in my session. I got one to over like 2,500 offerings, and it was still piling up, which was very satisfying to collect. So let's talk about XP rates for this minigame, and we'll go over some of the top logs. So for U logs, you can expect about 200k per hour. For magics, you can expect about 300 to 330k per hour, which is really good. Redwood logs, while making the walking staff, I was getting very similar XP to magic logs. So if you're a main, you might want to go whichever one is cheaper, or if you don't have the levels to make redwood walking staffs, then hey, you know what? Magic's not that far behind. However, there is one method you can do with redwood logs that will put it above magic logs by a pretty significant amount. There are 2 main reasons why redwoods and magics are very close in XP at the base level. The first one has to do with your totem strength. As you make better totems, the ents can give more and more offerings to them before they collapse, as indicated by their leaf icon. However, with redwoods, they end up being so good that you'll finish a route, or you'll get to some point in your route where you're just standing at a totem waiting for an ent to come clear it out, and you're definitely going to lose out on XP during that downtime. Now, you could argue that, hey, it's AFK time, so it's a little bit more chill than Magic's, but even Magic has a little bit of downtime as well. However, that's something we cannot control for. The second factor we definitely can influence, and it has to do with the redwood walking staff. I mentioned before that you shouldn't make the shields because they require 2 logs to make. You don't get more XP either. They take 2 times longer to fletch, so that ends up breaking even. So you're really just spending more logs, which isn't worth it. However, for redwoods, we don't have a redwood longbow. We only have this walking staff, and this walking staff gives miserable fletching XP, like 10 fletching XP when you do it, compared to if it was a redwood longbow, for example, would be about 110 XP. So this begs the question, what if we were to make redwood shields instead? When you do that, you actually end up with fairly good XP rates for redwoods. About 410k I was getting, and I suspect you can get even higher if you were more perfect than me. There are some considerations though to factor in here, and honestly they're not that bad once you get used to them. The big thing here is I mentioned before that you want the log basket or the pendant of a Tez. In this case, you need both. The reason is when you're crafting these shields, you will run out of logs. So having that point in front of the statue to restock is really important, and having the log basket to sustain your logs is really important. So this means that you're going to be banking twice during your route. And even if you're doing this, there's still a little bit of downtime that you're going to have at totems to craft the shields. So redwood totems, again, are taking a long time to break down. The other consideration is the fact that these redwood shields do take longer to fletch, so you'll want to keep that in mind and make sure that you're timing your fletches and your long runs so that you're making the most amount of shields. When you're first starting with the redwood shields, you might feel like you're lagging behind a little bit, but there's going to be points in your run where you're going to start having extras and things are going to feel a lot smoother. There is also an AFK version of this mini game, and it's less so about fletching and running around and more so around woodcutting and leveling up your woodcutting, or maybe you're working on forestry and you also want to gain some fletching experience and some rewards. Well, what you can do is just park yourself in front of a tree. You got magics here, maples, willows, and just chop that tree like you normally would, but then engage with the totem in front of you for some extra XP and extra rewards, and that's going to add up. You'll probably passively green log this activity from doing that. You'll probably gain pretty much equal fletching levels, where before, you know, you fletch a bow for 90 XP, it's not as much as chopping the tree, but now you can sacrifice some of them to the totem, and that's going to bump that up quite a bit. I see no reason why this won't be a top location for forestry. There's even a freaky forester nearby, so I definitely expect people to start migrating here and AFK woodcutting while engaging with one of the totems. I also think this is particularly strong for people leveling up their woodcutting and fletching, like really big noob levels, because you can go to the oak tree, use the totem, you can go to the willow tree, use the totem, and just move your way up the trees, and you're getting a really good amount of XP and good rewards as well. The rewards at this minigame, highly recommend you go for the two main ones because they're super quick to get. You have the spool that can hold a ton of bowstring, but you will need to upgrade it to get more and more bowstring in it if you're interested in that. It's just going to make stringing bows a lot better. You can do 27 at once instead of doing 14. There is also an interesting method you can do where when you use those flax packs that you get from the rewards here, which is a pack that you open and get 25 flax from, you could bring a chunk of those, like 200 plus of those, to a spinning wheel and then just open up 25, make the bows, put them in the spool, and just continuously repeat that and basically never bank ever. So that's going to be an interesting method I want to see people try. The fletching knife is definitely good because it just makes fletching, you know, better, faster. In the minigame itself, it's not going to make a huge difference to XP rates because there is some totem time where you're kind of just standing there anyways, but it will make it so you can get ahead of your fletches a little bit quicker, especially when you're doing redwood shields. I do think that these two rewards, you know, if we didn't have this activity, would be amazing for fletching, but because this activity is already so good, I probably am never ever going to be stringing bows anyways, unless I really want to spend some time bank standing. Outside of the two uniques and the cosmetic, you have a few more common rewards as well. The ant branches, which can help make the atlatl darts, but you do need to combine them with the tips from the new Slayer creatures. On top of that, you have these dirty arrow tips that you can clean, and it gives you a few of each arrow tip, and I was able to get dragon arrow tips. It might be based on level though, so we'll have to see what the thresholds are there, but dragon arrow tips are welcome any day. And then the other big thing that I was seeing was a fair amount of bird's nests, which obviously as an Ironman having to make my Cerebrus is a welcome thing to see. Everything else is pretty much standard. There's some roots I'll probably never use, there's some blessed bone shards, some animal bark is nice, but those are the main ones. Now, when I'm talking about different mini games or activities, I like to talk about like time to completion or green logging, but it's a little bit different with this activity for a couple of reasons. It has some fundamental differences to similar mini games. So, Mastering Mixology, for example, you're in Mastering Mixology primarily for the rewards, less so for the XP. So you stay there as long as you need to stay there to get, you know, the green log or to get a certain item. Right? Now for this mini game, you definitely want a couple of the items, especially if you're already maxed. But what keeps you in this activity, or what's going to be the main driver of this activity, is actually the XP you're getting, not necessarily the rewards. So you'll likely spend more time based on that rather than green logging. But let's say you're maxed. How long does it take to get those 4 slots? I would say probably between 5 and 10 hours. So it's a fairly short grind. I think Jagex did a great job with this fletching activity. It feels like the right level of engagement, like maybe just below Guardians of the Rift in terms of like attention required, which feels really good for the activity. But there's also a bunch of other reasons why I think it's really good. It's accessible for pretty much all types of account, which is definitely a welcome thing to see. It's also got an amazing atmosphere, from the way it looks to the way it sounds, all the little sounds, and the song is just so good. But the thing I really like is that, you know, despite people calling this a mini game, it feels a lot less like a mini game and more like an activity than a lot of other things. It takes place in a forest, a wide forest, where people are doing other things, right? It's not like a closed arena where we're all doing the exact same thing, which is a huge mini game constraint. On top of that, it's not like rounds. It's not like when the round ends, you get your reward or anything like that. This is just a cyclical, always happening thing, which we don't see in typical mini games. So I'm going to stress to call this an activity, and I hope that we do more activities in the future like this.
Good morning, gamers. Welcome to Behemoth. It is the day of reckoning. Finally, we get the Delve boss and the release of Varlamore Part 3. Now, at this point, it's been out for about 6 or 7 hours. There is a world first clear already. I want you guys to guess who in the comments. The winner gets a kiss. But so far, it has been received extremely well. I went around, I asked all the top players what their opinions on the boss were. Molgo Kirby gives it a 9 out of 10. Bodhi gives it a 9 out of 10. No Monkey gives it a 9 out of 10. Across the board, there are a few bugs I think that they need to tweak out, a little bit of jank, but overall people are really enjoying the boss fight. So we'll get into those clips in a second. But first off, some news updates that we wanted to show you guys. This is a little update on the Ellie situation from the other day. I got a message from the person who lost their Ellie in that weird mini rollback thing that they got. I talked to him a little bit, but basically he's getting completely stuffed by Jagex. They have no intention of returning his items. They just gave him an auto reply email. They didn't even talk to him. Now, not a lot of people were complaining that they were wronged in this scenario. It's very, very few, but Jagex has also said almost nothing. We've definitely seen some weird rollback clips too, so it's not like people aren't deserving of these. Hopefully Bert gets his Ellie back, and hopefully his friend did not get it refunded and is now lying to him for a free Ellie. Also, Jagex backtracked on one of their summer sweep up changes. If you remember, they proposed a bunch of changes to the rune cost for the Archaea spells. They have backtracked on that. That is no longer the case, so Ironman everywhere rejoice. We are going to keep blood runes as part of the Thrall spells. Also, finally, RuneScape 3 is currently running for the first time ever with Treasure Hunter disabled, which of course is literal gambling, so that's probably good. You can still buy XP packs, so like it's still pay to win. There's still microtransactions, but this is a step in the right direction. So if you guys ever want to go and give that a try, probably don't. Just keep logging into old school. I'm just kidding. You can go to RS3. Hopefully their game gets better. All right, jumping into the clips. We're starting off with the Delve boss. This is the world first level 8 Mako Waddle clear by none other than No Monkey.
I'm gunning for it. Did I do it? Did we get it? We got 8. We got an 8 clear. Yeah, hell yeah, we did it. First try. Okay. Oh, we did it. I wasn't sure. I was like, is that it?
And very shortly after that, we did see the world second from none other than Noob Type.
Oh wait, that was last level. Wait, hold up.
Not a lot of drops coming in yet. I'm assuming the drop rates are fairly low. And also not a lot of people can clear level 6+. It's a definitively difficult boss. But Mr. Vikan Lapu got pretty lucky today.
Keep the sprout. Wow, nice. Wait, what is dumb? Wait, is that pet? Chat, is that pet? Is that a pet? Hold on.
And we just got the pet man. Okay.
Okay! Okay!
Next up, we have Sardako, who made it to his first jab.
What's this big boy gonna open with? I'm dead already. I'm dead already.
Dying on my
I'm dead already.
Ironman. Completed.
There is no way, bro.
Why Juicy goes back for his second Infernal Cape.
Oh, we're...
And everyone, please welcome back Mr. Roydy. We missed him dearly.
I have missed everybody in the team oh so very much. And to have everybody so supportive of me has just been so nice to see. Any of the farmers need me for any reason at any time, I'm on the next motherfucking flight out for the rest of my life, such that we can all be old and gray and retired and spend some time on the beach together. Fo said he needs a babysitter for this weekend. Ooh, I don't know if I can do that.
Next up, we got Showback talking some shit before the old school RuneScape trials.
Who I'm worried about is Savix. Who I'm worried about is Oda. I'm not worried about Foe. Foe tried to come in here. He tried to come in here and instill fear. And if you come into a stream to try to instill fear, I know that you are the actually one who is in fear. Foe is a trim slayer. Foe isn't an untrimmed slayer. So he's not in my peripherals of someone to worry about.
It is actually all love between these two. Here's Foe helping Showback learn LMS.
Specking. You about to die, motherfucker. Ancients. I'm about to kill him. I'm gonna staff him right now. Ancients, bitch. Suck it. Bunkai. Can I cast? It's not casting. Bro,
you gotta manually click it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, dude.
No, I clicked on it like 20 times.
You chanced the out of him. That was very good. So you have no idea what you just did, but that sim spec drops his prayer and then you went into a dagger and you almost max hit that spec.
And congrats to Savix, my personal favorite WoW transplant. He is on a PvP world doing his first ever fire cape attempt.
My kick chat just sent me this. My kick chat boss A-pens. You psychopaths. What are you guys doing? Go level up. You guys are wasting EXP.
But of course, he was very brave. He continued on.
Let's go, baby!
Next up. But of course, he was very brave. He continued on.
Let's
3 nieces.
You have 3 sisters then.
3 sisters, yeah.
That's insane. Damn, what are these RNGs?
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and hit the bank here.
Okay.
And you actually have some range. You've got a range set up in your bank. So that's the first boss. All right. Now this is a simplified version of the real Theater of Blood, and it's just to be able to.
I felt it was like I was disadvantaged when he came out. But oh my god, bro! What was the fight with the king, the Night King? It was like the 4th ultimate or something. Oh, I forgot the name of it, man. Was it DSR? I think it was DSR. Yeah, that thing, dude. I still have it all in my brain, by the way. You fight him first phase, and then he has these triple slashes. He drops the rocks, and you gotta position the rock properly. You get blown off. Okay, here comes Jad, though. He's gonna spawn right here, right? Okay, he's not spawning yet. But yeah, DSR was fun. We did have one guy that kept effing up.
Holy
that
shit, guys.
made us deproc so
Thank you.
hard. For watching the journey. Here we go. Whether we win or not, we did our best. Help me get here. Smoke. Assholes. My kick chat just sent me this. My kick chat boss Apens. You psychopaths. Alright, we're done. We're done. One more. Alright, what are we gonna do? Here's the game plan, guys. After I kill this guy, I'm gonna log out, switch to NA World, fastest ping in the West, and then I'm gonna pop Magic Prayer. I was really hoping that he would spawn on the sides, not middle. He's gonna spawn right here, right? Holy shit, guys. Thank you for watching the journey. Here we go. Whether we win or not, we did our best. But I think we're gonna kill it, guys. Okay, let me play in my head one last time. It's gonna spawn right here. Long range. One last sip.